All right, that's 12, I think, hopefully. But hello, everyone. Welcome in to the stream. Let me just switch to the regular view. There we go. So today what we are going to be doing, we're just going to jump right into it. Today what we're going to be doing is Pokemon GIJINKAS. And if you've never seen a Pokemon GIJINKA before, it is basically just, a human design of what Pokemon originally are. Right, so it's spelled like that, Gijinkas, Gijinkas. Hello, hello, Alyssa. But hello to everyone who is in currently. So we're going to be drawing some Pokemon Gijinkas, of course. I will be taking requests from you guys as well. We are going to be starting with Pikachu. I am going to challenge you guys as well to request me stuff that isn't quite so popular. So, because, Pokemon Gijinkas are quite common in the kind of more artsy Pokemon communities. So, the very common ones are like the very common Pokemon. So you get like Pikachu a lot, you get a lot of Charizard, all that. So I'm challenging you to give me something that isn't quite so common. But if you do have a Pokemon that you'd like to request, you can request it in the chat and I will gladly do that for you. I may not get to everything. If my brain doesn't pull any inspiration for it either, I might not do it. Or if it's like way too common, I might not do it either. But we'll see how I feel. But yeah, so let's get going before I waste too much time of me just kind of putzing around. So we said that we were going to start with Pikachu if you were part of the live poll. Then we said that we were going to start with Pikachu. And when I kind of think of Pikachu, there's a couple things that you want to think about when you are... I'm actually going to hide the title for a second. There's a couple things you want to think about when you're thinking of redesigning something or taking inspiration from a previous design and applying it to a new design, right? One thing that you want to think about is A, the initial design, and B, what the kind of personality behind that character is. With Pokemon, they don't technically have like quote-unquote personalities. The only times that you'll really see them have personalities, somewhat something resembling a personality, is like, in the anime or in the manga. So I'm going to be kind of... Hello, Lennox. Welcome back. We're doing Pokemon Gijinkas. If you have any Pokemon to request, I'm challenging you guys to request me some not quite so common Pokemon, even though we're starting Pikachu with Pikachu. So kind of taking into account, the personality of Pikachu, plus the design. From the anime, Pikachu was kind of this scrappy character. He was a little bit more like sassy, a little bit less cute. I see a lot of like Pikachu designs; they're always so cute. And his design is cute. But when I think of Pikachu, I think more of like a scrappy, gets into a lot of fights kid. Yes, you may request Luxray, Alyssa. I know that Luxray is your favorite. So I will be doing Luxray after Pikachu then. But yes, request who you would like. But again, I may not get to everybody. And sometimes if my inspiration isn't feeling it, then I might not do it either, but we'll see. But yeah, I think of Pikachu as more of this like kind of scrappy character rather than like this cute Gengar. I will gladly do Gengar. Gengar's a fun one. But yes, I love my ghost types. So I will gladly do Gengar as well. Faye, welcome in as well. Ooh, Zoroark or Zorua. I love that evolution line. So yes, I will also gladly do that. So then it's Luxray, then Gengar, then Zoroark / Zorua. That might take us to the end, depending on how long this takes me. Yeah, in the anime, Ash's Pikachu is kind of this like angry, sassy character. Right, I'm also kind of thinking of Buzzcut, because everyone's like, oh, they always give him like these really cute, frilly designs, but I don't really see him like that. I don't know why this canvas isn't directly in the middle. Let's do that. Right, because the Pikachu in the anime was very much like, oh, he liked to fight with Ash a lot, and it was like, he didn't like to get in the Pokeball, he wasn't very well behaved and all that. And that's kind of how that's in the original anime. As time has gone on, he's just become like Ash's very best friend. He's kind of lost a little bit of that sassiness. That's kind of how I like to see Pikachu a little bit more. Gengar is cool. Gengar is cool. Little tidbit. Back when we had the live studio, there was a time when we featured an artist who, like, the first episode of the anime with the rubber gloves. Yeah. Where Pikachu kept on shocking Ash. But yeah, back in the live studio, I remember, like, we featured this one artist who, like, sculpted these, like, Pokemon figures, and I was, like, torn between the Gengar and the Bulbasaur. I ended up getting Bulbasaur, but the Gengar was also pretty cool. Pikachu is also a mouse Pokemon. He's considered the mouse Pokemon, so I am going for a bit of a smaller body type. Like, more of a child, rather than a full adult. Kind of like this scrappy kid. With designs as simple as Pikachu as well, there isn't a great deal to work with in terms of physical design, because you're kind of sitting there and you're like, he's yellow and he's got a lightning bolt tail and the pointy ears and the red cheeks, and that's about all I got, right? Some more complex Pokemon I actually tend to find to be easier to work with. So I'm gonna have a field day with Luxray is what I'm saying. But I guess it's a good challenge for me then to work with this. But I'm kind of going still with that smaller. I usually like to draw the entire body out before I do any kind of clothes. I also shouldn't zoom in so much because this arm is too long now. So is this one. Right, just kind of drawing out the full body. I'm gonna have to rotate as well to see. The whole anatomy of the head is gonna look kind of weird because I didn't give him human ears and gave him the Pikachu ears, which are like at the top of the head. So the anatomy is gonna look a little bit off regardless of what I do. Yes, welcome into everyone who is just joining in. We're doing Pokemon GIJINKAS. And you may request some Pokemon. I may not get to them though, because we actually have already reached the 4 characters that I might have time to do. I'm kind of thinking, like, you ever see, like, if you've ever played the games. Oh, by the way, great timing for Pokemon GIJINKAS, because today is actually Pokemon's 25th anniversary. I didn't know that until I saw the live stream from the Pokemon channel. And they were like, oh, it's 25 years since Pokemon Red and Blue's first release. And I'm like, really? I didn't know that. So, hello, M. Welcome in. We're doing Pokemon GIJINKAS. Jessie Quick, yes. But yeah, it's Pokemon's 25th anniversary. I didn't even realize until, like, 20 minutes before the stream started, and I saw it in my subscription box, and I was like, oh, really? So good timing on this, I suppose. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking, like, you ever see, like, in the games, when, like, they have, like, the junior characters? How have I been? I've been alright. How have you been, Em? It's been a little bit hectic, but I've survived, so. And because I want Pikachu to be this kind of scrappy character, I am going to be adding a bunch of little details that make him feel a little bit scrappier, right? There's going to be, I want to give him some, like, band-aids on his face, or on his, like, knees, his elbows, and all that fun stuff, right? Yes, I hope you've been well as well, Em. Sorry, I got late. I was finishing up with dinner. You're not that late. You're literally 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. You're not. You're quite early, actually. But yeah, so all these little kind of details into a character, right? Maybe his shoelaces are going to be completely undone. His shoes are probably going to be kind of whack. Right? It's little things where that kind of speak a lot to a character. You want to kind of have that visual storytelling, right? You look at a character and you automatically make an assumption. So especially with this kind of scrappy looking character that I've decided to go with. That's how I'm kind of playing it up. Make that smaller. The asymmetry as well helps a little bit. I rushed through dinner to join in. Oh, I'm glad. Well, I hope that you didn't rush too much, but thank you for coming in. It's lovely to have you back. So far, I believe what we've requested is we've had Luxray, Gengar, and then Zoroark or Zorua? Zoroark or Zorua. I've actually done Zorua before, so I might do Zoroark. Like the evolution. I do love that whole evolution line, though. It's such a good design. It was one of my favorites from Black and White. Okay, so let's move on to lines, just so I can... I was gonna originally try to imitate the like original Pokemon style, but like I was like maybe not, because that's gonna take me way too long. You've been good, but you got lecture recordings to catch up on. You're procrastinating full on. That was me even when COVID wasn't a thing, so I understand completely. Excited to see your Luxray design. Another one to choose from, maybe Trapinch or Flygon. I do love both of those, too. I might do Flygon. Oh, you know what? No, I might do Trapinch, because Flygon has been done a lot, too. If I have the time, because there has already been 4 requests. So, we'll see how far I get into all of these. Oh my god. There we go. Keeping my correction as low as possible. And I'm working with thin lines this time around. Thinner lines this time around as well to kind of go at least a little bit with Pokemon's original style as well. Haven't seen Pokemon in ages. Yeah, I mean, today's the 25th anniversary. And I think they just announced a Diamond and Pearl remake, which everyone is, like, hyped for. So they finally announced a Gen 4 remake, which is, like, the one thing that everybody's been waiting for. But to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Gen 4. Like, I don't hate it. I don't hate any Pokemon gens, but, like, I've never been a huge fan of Gen 4. I guess it's just because it's not what I grew up with. I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I grew up with Black and White. That was my first Pokemon game. And then I went backwards. And then I played Platinum, then Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Or no, it was the other way around. I played Soul Silver and then Platinum. Hello, hello, Snowflake Snow. Welcome in. We are doing Pokemon GIJINKAS, starting with Pikachu. And you may request Pokemon. I may not get to them, depending on how much time I got. But we'll see. We always see Pikachu GIJINKAS as super cute characters, so I'm glad you're making a more scrappy version who looks like a troublemaker. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I challenge you to give me Pokemon that you haven't seen a lot of. So even like Pikachu, who's been, I know that was, I put him in the poll and I was like, he's gonna win. Like, no matter who else I put into that poll, Pikachu's gonna win. So I was like, ahead of time, I'm like, how do I make it so that he doesn't look like the same as everybody else's Gijinka? But yeah. I think it's always fun to kind of like take some original inspiration as well. If you've been on this channel for long enough, a while ago I did some Animal Crossing Gijinkas, like at the beginning of this channel. And one character that was so hard for me to do was Raymond, because everybody has done a Gijinka of Raymond. And I was like, how do I make him more original? And I couldn't. My brain just couldn't get like that single track version of him out of my brain. So I was like, alright, I guess I'll just stick with what I know. He was the least fun. Whitney was the most fun, but you know. We're almost at a year anniversary to when New Horizons came out, so that's kind of wild. Yeah, 25 years of Pokemon. I haven't been around for all of them, obviously, but I do love Pokemon. It's a really fun franchise. Many are upset that just Pikachu represents Pokemon, but in the end, most of them want to see Pikachu. Yeah. I mean, I guess it does depend on where you stand in the Pokemon community. Like, if you're not a huge Pokemon fan, but you know, like, everybody knows who Pikachu is. But, like, if you're not a huge fan of the Pokemon community, you probably don't have a favorite other than Pikachu. Right? My favorite is Noivern from Gen 6. Like, the big dragon bat Pokemon. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I don't know if you can probably see in the bottom right corner, this is the reference window. If you've never used it in Medibang, what you can do is go to Window, Reference, like up at the top, there should be something that says Window, and then you click Reference, and from there, you can open up files to have in the corner over there. So depending on the Pokemon that I get, next is Luxray, so I'll open up Luxray to have in the corner next. I kind of already know how to draw Pikachu. Like, I've drawn Pikachu a lot. But yeah, Pikachu was my favorite for a while, actually, because I was just really into the anime. And obviously Pikachu gets the most screen time out of all the other Pokemon. So I was like, yeah, Pikachu's like the best one ever. But in the games, though, I remember I had this really stacked Pikachu in Gen 6, so I was like, yeah. Same with the Sylveon. I had a really stacked Sylveon, too. Okay, 218, not too bad. 1218, sorry. I guess the good thing about starting with Pikachu is that he's a fairly simple design, so it's like I'm not spending too much time on him. You think your favorites are Lucario and Zoroark. Ah, so like the more like kind of foxy wolfy Pokemon. I feel. Pikachu, Eevee, and Charizard. Everyone has to know at least one of them. That's true. Eevee kind of became a second mascot when like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu came out. I bought Let's Go Eevee off of a friend. Because, like, I kind of wanted it just because, like, I wanted to get my Pokemon fix. And he was like, I didn't like it. It's like, if you want it, you can buy it off of me. And I was like, sure. So I got it for, like, 20 bucks less off of him. So, like, pretty good. It wasn't too bad. I just never finished it. Eevee. Eevee's not my favorite evolution. I think my favorite is still Glaceon. Like, Glaceon has a special place in my heart, because Glaceon was my favorite when I was in 4th grade. Oh, that's a tangent. Let's not have that. Ninetales or Vulpix. Alolan or regular? So that's the ice type or the fire type? Like Eevee. The evolutions are really nice. Yeah, there's so many. But yeah, if you're requesting Ninetales or Vulpix, tell me if it's Alolan or the regular Ninetales or Vulpix, because those designs are very, very different. Why is this not working for me? There we go. Umbreon is a good choice. The fire types. Okay. I love your drawing. Thank you. Shil Patel. Welcome in. Hope I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry if I didn't. Yeah, so the regular one. Okay. Classic. I'll see if I can get to it. You draw with your fingers digitally. I would never be able to. So Ninetales. Okay, regular Ninetales. If I get to Ninetales, I will gladly draw that one for you as well. Who's a fan of Alolan Persian? Alolan Persian rules, just because it's like, it's awful looking. Sorry, that's a hot take. I'm a huge fan of Alolan Executor. I also quite like, Galarian Weezing. It's another one I quite like. Galarian Weezing is like... It's kind of a clever design, actually, because he looks like a smokestack, but also, like, the top hat. It's actually a clever design, as much as it's, like, not fantastic. Like when you first look at it, you're like, oh, this is ugly, but it's actually quite clever, if you think about it more. But yeah, Alolan Persian is weird. I don't quite get that one, but, like, I like it just because of how weird it is. Yes, so just as a reminder, once March hits, we'll be changing our stream time to 4 to 6 p.m. rather than at the 12 p.m. that we have right now, so they'll be a little bit later, just to accommodate for all our lovely ESTE people who can't quite join in because of school. Yes, I'm kind of drawing those shoes a little more destroyed. Because, you know, when you're a kid and you, like, have, like, those shoes that you run in all the time, and then by the end, it's like, they're kind of messed up. My default shoes that I draw tend to be Converse. Even though I haven't worn a pair of Converse since I was, like, oh god, since I was, like, 14. Don't get me wrong, I still like Converse, it's just I wear Fila's more. Actually, my favorite pair of shoes is, like, this pair of Pumas that I have. It's 2:30 a.m. in my country. Yeah, unfortunately we can't, like... We can't, like, accommodate for absolutely everyone. There will always be stream replays, though. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm always up till that time anyway. Won't be able to join. It's okay. Maybe sometimes you'll be able to just pop in very briefly. I know a couple people pop in, like, ultra late. Why am I spending so long on these laces? I really don't need to. Favorite character is Misty. Dang, a classic. I don't know who my favorite from the anime was. Honestly, like, they're alright. I think my favorites tend to be from, like, the manga. The Pokemon manga rules. Like, if you've never read it, it's so good. My favorites from the manga was always Gold. Like, from the original mangas. I quite like the new ones, too. I haven't read any since past Black and White, but... No problem. Alright. How many hours later is the new schedule? 4 hours later? Math. Yeah, so the stream will still be 2 hours in length. It's just changing the time that it will be starting, so that's 4 p.m. EST. So just convert that into your time zone. Those shoelaces took far too long. Maybe I'll just have it that the shoe doesn't have laces at all. Yeah, that sounds about right. So this shoe just doesn't have laces. It'll just be like the lonely aglets and Alright. And the tongue of the shoe. Okay. I'll just leave it at that then. Maybe he lost them while he was climbing up a tree or something. Or running away from somebody. Alright. So that's kind of how we're going for the line work. Right? Kind of incorporated the same eye design. Right? The little black with the circles. And in the color is what I'm going to add in those signature red cheeks as well. Earlier it was 2 p.m. EST. No, it ends at 2 p.m. EST is what time these end at. Normally it would be 12 p.m. EST is when it started. So again, now I've got to incorporate Pikachu's kind of original colors. I'm going to go for, whoops, switch this to layer. Let's protect Alpha on that. Let's kind of bring the yellow back in. It's kind of, I can make it a little more unrealistic. Let's make this like an ultra yellow hair. How to draw perfect circles? You don't. You cry. I'm kidding. You just kind of go over it a couple of times instead of trying to get it in one go. Hello, Carmelian. Welcome in. Don't know what time zone you're in, but you're 4 hours later, which is luckily fine for me. Oh, that means that you're either CST or something else. You might be in CST. No, CST is 3 hours earlier. Because CST is in America and a few parts of America. But that's good if you can still join. That's so cool. Thank you. We're kind of working with Pikachu right now. The next character that we're doing, next Pokemon that we're doing is Luxray. I'm gonna make it so then, like, it's just kind of like that. Yeah. I'm making Pikachu a bit of a scrappier character because most Pokemon Gijinkas of Pikachu tend to be quite cute. Alright, so I want to kind of do something a little bit different than what you always see, you know. I should probably just work with the paint bucket. That might make my life a little bit easier. There we go. Yeah, that's a wiser decision. And then just fix it. What's my tolerance? Why is it so low? Goodness gracious. That's why. Let's turn that up. That's better. Then I'll just fix wherever I can't reach. So you can still request Pokemon if you'd like. No guarantees that I'll get to them though, just because we do already have my 4 and Pikachu is taking way too long, so I'm like... It's kind of the same color scheme as Misty now, I'm noticing. That's fine. Hi! Hey, Farrell! Greyknot is an IRL friend of mine, so hello. Welcome in, buddy. Glad to see you. We're starting with Pikachu, next is Luxray. Who was it? Then it's Gengar, and then it's Zoroark. So I'll see if I have any time. All the other Pokemon are very dark color schemes. That's gonna be fun, actually. I like working with darker colors. I gotta bring this yellow back in somewhere, though. Also, I should maybe make these ears a little bit lighter as well. Because I wanted them to blend into the hair, but now I'm like, they don't look that great. That means I want this hair to be a bit of a different color as well. That's better. That is certainly better. Okay. My brain was screaming at me to make it a more naturally blonde color. Okay. Because it's almost like his head is a little bit more shaved, right? And that means I gotta bring these yellows back in. Yeah, so darker colors I tend to have a little more fun with darker colors, darker color schemes. So Luxray is going to be a lot of fun, especially with that big mane of hair. I'm going to have fun with that design. I might spend way too long on Luxray. We'll see how things go. Because the more that I think about it now, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a fun design to work with. Gengar is quite simple, so if I get Luxray done quick enough, then Gengar probably won't take me very much time. So again, I'm just kind of bringing... When you have a design, right, sometimes there will be points of isolated color. That feels a little bit unnatural, so generally you want to kind of bring back in some of the colors that you see throughout your piece. Alright, so I kind of wanted to bring this yellow back in, down onto the bottom from the ears. I'm probably going to want to bring in that red again as well, so I'm going to... Oh, you know what? Let's use the... I could just use the little flap here. Yeah. To kind of bring in that red back a little bit as accents, but I still want it to kind of show up somewhere else as well. Right? I don't want it to be in just one select isolated spot. Generally, you want to kind of bring it around into the design. Unless if you want to bring, like a focal point to somewhere. This blue isn't quite as jarring. But you see that the color scheme feels a little more balanced when I bring the red down to the bottom as well, so it feels more like you're looking at a full kind of piece. Hey Sylvie! Sylvie's another IRL friend of mine, so hello, welcome in. Glad to see ya. Jessie, am I using a screen tablet or a pen tablet? I am using a screen tablet. I use a Cintiq 13HD. I do kind of want a new tablet, just because I want a bigger one. that I can use as a, what's it called? I want a kind of a bigger tablet that I can use as a screen, as like another screen, because like right now it's, the resolution isn't high enough, so it's a little bit strange if I try to make it into another screen. But right now what I'm doing is I'm adding shadows. I'm creating a, this will be a multiply layer soon, but right now I am sticking to just colors so I can, oh, you know, it's kind of hard to see. There we go. So if I switch it to multiply, it's very, very quick. Shadows. So I'm almost done Pikachu here, so I can move on to Luxray. That doesn't make sense. Just at the bottom here, I think. But yeah, I've had this Cintiq for quite a while. We got it used. It's an old used one. Pikachu boy can't hear you. These are Pokemon Gijinkas, so we are doing the human designs of varying Pokemon. So right now it's Pikachu, next up is going to be Luxray, then we're moving on to Gengar, and then Zoroark. Hopefully we can get to all that. Reformatting in YouTube chat. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Sometimes it's like you gotta figure out where your light source is coming from, right? What will hit. So I'm kind of have like a top-down thing right now, so I'm trying to figure out where these shadows would go. Sometimes they don't make sense. There should be some more color here. Excuse-moi. Oh, there we go. Oof, there's no color history either. And there we have it. So there's Pikachu. The Pikachu GIJINKAS. He's kind of the scrappier character, so that means that we can move on to Luxray. Now let me just pull up a reference for Luxray. Keyboard 6. If you got time, can I request Breloom for the end of the list? Yes, so the other Pokemon that actually are before that, there was actually... Oh, I saw Minccino was requested by another friend of mine. I didn't see that, though. Oh, okay, so... Oh my goodness. So there was Lucario, then it was Ninetales. Or, sorry, no, well, I had Zoroark, and then there was Ninetales, and then there was Minccino that I just noticed. And then there's Breloom. Yes, so there's those three that I also have to remember, so... Let me just look up Luxray real quick, so I can download an image and use it as my reference. Oh, Luxray is gonna be fun. Those eyes are a lot of fun. Yeah, so we got a long list. And Dunsparce. Okay. Long list. I don't think I'll be able to get to those, but I will try. Because I can already feel that Luxray is going to take me a while. Okay. Luxray has a lot of interesting kind of shapes going on, especially with the back of the feet here. Memory test for Jessie, yeah, literally. Used to be a jazz musician. I used to just play piano. I used to do vocals. Luxray is this kind of strong-looking character. He looks more like a lion to me. I'm going to go with a bit of a stronger body type as well then. So I'm going to go for an adult. A little more an adult body type. Ohio! Hello, Pardeep. I like jazz. I do like jazz. You like jazz. Yeah, so Luxray kind of has this more serious design. He's got a bit of a pointed nose, so I'm going to kind of incorporate that a little bit more as well. So there's a lot of things that I'm taking into account when I'm designing this main thing, right? As I'm kind of looking at the original design, as well as taking into account how you can kind of translate that into a more humanoid looking figure. I'm struggling with this nose. How's everyone doing? I'm doing all right. I'm kind of thinking a beard for this guy too. I'm kind of thinking a beard for Luxray. It's kind of funny with these ears. Because these ears are kind of cute. What I could do, because he's got like these things on this side here, kind of translate into mutton chops for me. Because he's a bit lion-y, isn't he? Yeah, then you can kind of have it up here. So a lot of what I'm kind of doing right now is working with this mane. Looking forward to how you incorporate the stripes. I always see them as silly socks. I was actually kind of thinking of making them into sleeves, kind of like incorporating them into a business suit of some kind. Spiky hair, spiky hair. I was kind of thinking of like a. This is actually one of my favorite body types to do. Very filled out, strong kind of character, you know. I don't get to do it very often, so I'm like whenever I get to, I'm like, yes. It's like toned, but not quite model tone, you know? There's a bit of a difference when you have like a deadlifter versus like someone who works for a magazine. There's two different types of muscular, right? Or there's a few different types of muscular, but it's like if you have a wrestler versus like a model, bodybuilders tend to not be very strong. Even if they have like rippling abs, that they tend not to be like very strong, which is actually which is something that a lot of people don't know. Because if you look at the strongest man in the world, he doesn't look like ultra ripped, right? He looks kind of heavyweighted. Please use blue for this one. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was planning on. He is made up of mostly dark colors, so the light blue is probably going to be an accent. I kind of want to give him a tail, because I like that tail. I am also a very big fan of drawing arms. I love drawing arms. Like, it's one of my favorite things. Like, ultra big arms. Armstrong. I haven't drawn Armstrong from FMA, but I know I would have fun if I did. Because I'm kind of feeling this. Sir. It is fun to. I love this body type. It's very, very fun for me to draw. As much as I love the ultra toned muscles as well, this is like a different. The kind of wrestler body type is very strong. It's a very fun body type for me as well. Okay, how am I feeling with this outfit? Because I need to incorporate the stripes somewhere. I'm like kind of deciding. I mean, there are his legs. I could literally just make them laces. But I don't want to do that. Because then that can be kind of annoying. I could just do... Because he's got those spikes, right? Yeah, to get the model magazine body, men have to endure such extremities. Women too. And it's like in our bodybuilders, and it's a very different regimen. I'm gonna, you know what, to incorporate these spikes, I'm gonna have these as ripped. Yeah, that feels better. They have to go through a lot, and it's like, it's not... And the funny thing is that it doesn't actually make them strong. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, they look so strong, but really they're not. It's like it's really just for an aesthetic purpose, rather than to actually get stronger. A crop top with short pants. I was actually just gonna leave this open. Like, he wasn't gonna have any shirt at all. I might give if I get to Zoroark, I might give a crop top to Zoroark, because that actually kind of seems like fun. These are kind of cut off here. And kind of an angle, which I think is kind of funny. He kind of looks like a biker. Let's go for it. I like that biker idea. So then that means he does have boots. That means I'm probably just going to incorporate the stripes as shoes. I was thinking of a suit, but I'm like, I guess we're going for scrappy characters today. Less clean. Oh, I should put spikes on the toe of the boots. Let's do that too. So true. Yeah. Alright. So you can probably tell that this one's taking me a little bit longer, because I'm designing as well as actually drawing. Come on. You can change the name for me. Okay, there we go. A tip, by the way, if you're one of those people that tend to mix up what layer you're drawing on, just change the opacity of the layer, like the sketch layer, and you'll never mix it up ever again. I want to play Pokemon Y now. I got back into Pokemon Shield with Alyssa a little while ago. But now I've been getting back into Animal Crossing, which is hilarious, because it's like this is around the time I got into Animal Crossing in the first place. But I've been playing that a lot again. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking of this biker. How's this going? Yeah, because he's got like these mutton chops on the sides here. That's kind of what I want to incorporate. You got Ultra Moon, but you still gotta finish it. I didn't get Ultra Moon. My brother did, I think. Did I? I don't remember. It's been a long time. Oh, no, yes I did. I got Ultra Moon. I did finish it, but I didn't think it was that good. I'm gonna be legit, Alola was not my favorite region. It was kind of boring to me. Like, I still played it, obviously, and I still liked it, but, like, it was out of all the Pokemon games I played, that one was a little more boring. Like, out of all the main Pokemon games I've played. I wasn't a huge fan of the new mechanic with gyms. I do, however, like how they wrote the gyms in Sword and Shield, mainly because, like, with those ones, they required you to have a sponsorship to compete, which kind of filled in the plot hole of, like, oh, it's like everybody can compete in gyms, then why aren't they constantly flooded, right? Which never really made sense with the story, but this time it makes sense, because it's like, you gotta be sponsored by somebody kind of higher up in order to compete. You gotta be put into, like, a tournament kind of thing. Alright, that makes sense. That kind of fixes a lot of the plot holes with the writing. So I'm like, okay, I like that. Wow, sorry, me rambling on about the writing. Anyway, writing is important to me. But yes, Luxray. These ears are kind of funny because they're like kind of cute, and he's like not very cute. The new gym system wasn't that good in Sun and Moon. Yeah, it wasn't even a gym. It was like an island trial. Like, I get it. it definitely fits with the design of the whole, because it was based off of kind of Hawaii, right? And it wasn't really, made a little more sense with where they were, but just in terms of like mechanics, I didn't really like it that much. Also, that one gym took me, there's one gym that took me forever. I think it was the grass type gym, and it was like when they were in the jungle, or no, the bug type gym, and they were in the jungle and they had to have me find all those things. That one took me so long for some reason. I hated that one. Like the I was in like a car and I was playing it. I was like, I hate this. Why is it taking so long? The bear ears, yeah. This Luxray's got those circular ears. Oh, I should write down their names next to them. Hang on. I mean, yeah, so this is Pikachu. And then this is Luxray. Me trying to make my handwriting as neat as possible. Okay. Because I'm a cursive. I write in cursive, but I'm trying not to. Just for this once. Love the atmosphere is reminding you of Lion King. Yeah. Luxray's a little more liony, is what I'm kind of vibing with. So I was like, yeah, it makes sense to kind of have him a little more liony. It's been so long since I've watched The Lion King. Like, I don't remember half of it. The first time I watched it, I was super, super young, and I haven't watched it since. Same with Dumbo. I really want to watch Dumbo again. Dumbo's the most underrated film from Disney. We won't get into how I'm not a huge fan of Disney, but it's the... Dumbo was such a good film. Sing it, Jessie. No. I don't even remember how that song goes. Also, copyright. Not about to do that. Disney's a little ring-necked. Go eat dinner and I'll come back later, though. Alright, see you later, Pardeep. Luxray is apparently based off of a lynx, but visually all I see is lion traits. Well, lynx are technically cats still, so it does kind of make sense, but I get that. Can't wait for the anatomy stream. That's also with me, so we'll be doing the anatomy stream together. That one's gonna be more structured like a lesson, I think. So we're gonna kind of talk about measurements and all that fun stuff. I feel Lion King is overrated. That's a hot take. Yeah, I don't remember it much, so I can't really talk about it. I was never a Disney kid. I grew up with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and all that. My favorite show, one of my favorite shows growing up was Ben 10. I also really like Transformers. That's what I was always into. You're in a science test right now, Violet. Well, maybe you should probably focus on that. But I appreciate you coming in. Hello. I haven't had science since I was in 10th grade. It's been a while. I kind of wanted to take biology, and then a bunch of my friends were like, don't do it. I was like, okay. They were like, don't do it. Like, you just don't want to. And I'm like, alright. He doesn't really have claws. I'm just gonna leave him as, like, regular fingernails. Arms, yes, I'm a huge fan of arms. Pokemon Street Choice for no one. Alright. Who was after Luxray? It was Gengar? Gengar is going to be another kind of larger body type. Zoroark's a little bit thinner, so I'm probably going to work with that one. Work with a leaner body type for that one. So beautiful. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I'm spending far too long on all of these. I'm like, come on, come on, come on. You can go faster. I'm going with the kind of like Pokemon. This is a ripped gene, even though it's like, it doesn't really make much sense. It wouldn't be this hard of a shape, but oh well, I suppose. Just the slightest bit of chest hair. That doesn't really make much sense, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I could just like leave it like that, I guess. You know what? I'm gonna do something else. Hang on. As I like slam my finger on the undo hotkey. Ah, that makes more sense. Okay. I could bring this shape back in here, yeah. Let's do that. Again, you kind of want to look back and see the original design a lot. Find shapes that you think can kind of work. Right? Incorporate it into the new design a little bit. So I'm kind of bringing that back in there. Sorry, I'm like trying to... I'm like, I want to finish this line work fast. I'm like, I want to get 4 done. That's like what my brain always goes like. It's like, you gotta get 4 done at the very least. Might just do buckles for these belts rather than doing, yeah, because if I do laces, it's going to take me way too long, so I'm going to just do buckles. Oh, and then I can incorporate these stripes back in. There we go. Hi, hello. Welcome into the stream. Welcome to the stream. The best channel, thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, and then I can make these into, the stripes can be the belt buckle, the buckles of the boots instead. I should have just, like, stuck with more Pokemon-y designs, because usually if you look at, like, the shoes or, like, the clothes, they usually tend to simplify a lot of the elements. Like, instead of a buckle, it'll just be, like, a rectangle that, like, represents a buckle. Or, like, it's mostly Velcro. Or even laces tend to be simplified. One thing that I really want is that one character. There's a one character from Sword and Shield. Oh my god, Alyssa, help me. It's like she starts with an O. She's Rose's secretary. I can never remember her name. It's Octana? Is that her name? I don't remember her name. But anyway, I really want her earrings. The hexagon-shaped earrings are so cool. I'm like, I really want them. I can never remember her name. Rose's secretary. She always has a garb odor. Oleana! That's the one. That's the one. I love her earrings. Those big octagonal earrings. Or those hexagonal earrings. I know I can get them from somewhere, but I'm like, I need to save up for something else. But it's like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Yeah, so I'm trying to get forage done. This is taking me a lot longer, though, than I expected. Hopefully Gengar doesn't take me quite as much time. Because Gengar is just like a big purple guy, right? It's like there's not too much to work with him either. Okay. Yeah, it's a very Pokemon-y design for the... you know what, I'm just gonna cut out the tail, because that's gonna take a while for me to do anyway, if I bothered. No, it just referenced the layer. There we are. Yes, yes. Hello, could I do Chansey if I have time? I have a lineup of like 12 Pokemon, so we're gonna have to see. I don't think I'll be able to get to it, but if I can, then I definitely will. Hello? Oh. But yes, welcome to the stream, Emma. You're new to digital painting. What are some tips to get better? There's a lot of things that you can do to get better, right? Use references. Look at how other people digitally paint. Digital painting, you gotta take a lot of traditional painting techniques into account as well. Oops. Sometimes you gotta start with shadows and then... It's like paint in the base colors, work on your... Because everybody's digital painting techniques are different from one another. Like, I don't know two people who have the exact same digital painting techniques. I'm just gonna, like... Can I not do that? Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, yes, I can. Haha! Genius. Oof. No, let's turn on tolerance then. Oh. Canvas. There we go. That seems too light. And it's also not colored enough. Oop. Yeah, because everybody has different techniques when it comes to digital painting. Alyssa and I have very drastically different different techniques. Like, I'm not painting today, I'm just coloring. The fun thing with Luxray is it's a very triadic color scheme. So it's like I got to work with that a little bit more. So just kind of bringing those colors back in is what I'm doing. Yeah, don't be too harsh to yourself because it's a completely new start. Even if you're good on paper, the first digital piece can look like a beginner's drawing. Yes, I can attest to that. Goodness gracious, my very first digital art piece was terrible. I didn't know what layers were either, so I drew everything on the background layer. Fun stuff. But yes, digital artwork takes a whole new learning curve. It's definitely very different. It depends what thing you're working on as well, but... Ugh, sure, I'll go with that. Oh, wrong color. Whoops. Alright, well. Can you make a video about where you explain to have a good resolution on your Medibank drawing? Resolution honestly depends on what you're using. Like, a resolution is very dependent on what resolution your original screen is. But also it's very dependent on, like, how big or small you want your piece to be. Resolution is, like... Most of the time, how you can set your resolution is, like, if you want to print something out, that's when you would worry about resolution a lot more. So, and you would work in 300 DPI, and then whatever inches you want. Your first digital drawing was on one layer on a 200 by 200 pixel canvas with a mouse. I feel mine was like on a 500 by 500 canvas, single layer. No, not 500. It was I think it was 1920 by 1080 because I didn't know how to set anything, and it was just the default. And then, like, I just drew whatever I wanted on the background layer. Yeah, setting it on 300 is good. 300 DPI is generally what you want for regular printing. And then if you a regular paper size... Oh my goodness, my plant just fell off my desk. It's a fake plant, don't worry. It's not real. So it's fine. But yeah, no, it's all dependent on if you're printing or if you're not printing and all that fun stuff. So I'm just trying to bring in back all those other colors that Luxray has. You set the DPI as high as you could at 1200. Oi, that's huge. To be honest, I didn't learn what DPI was until I was about a year into drawing. I learned about DPI because a friend of mine, he was in chat earlier. A friend of mine, he was like, I was like, wow, this piece is so pretty, right? And I looked at it, and I was like, oh, he uses DPI. I didn't realize that was a thing. So what's the actual deal with DPI? DPI stands for dots per inch. Oh, your old laptop couldn't handle 1200 DPI. Sad, sad. So DPI stands for dots per inch, which can also be PPI, which is pixels per inch. And basically what that is it determines how high resolution your piece is, right? So if you have 300 pixels per inch, then if you have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, then that's 300 pixels per every inch of that. So it's a lot of multiplication and stuff like that. Yeah, DPI is pixels. So DPI is with pixels, but if you have a vector or raster, if you have a vectored image, then you don't have to worry about DPI or anything like that. But vectors are mostly for graphic design. Not quite so much illustration. Okay, Luxray is almost done, so once I finish him, then we'll move on to Gengar, and I'll also talk a little bit about some things, sponsory thingies. Let's turn up the tolerance a little bit more. Yeah? No. I'm just like playing around with color. Seeing what I like, what I don't like. Whoops. I'll go with that, sure. Yeah, so DPI, it's like dots per inch, PPI is pixels per inch, but it means the same thing. It's about the same thing. Then, if I go with this blue here, I did learn about it, but then I forgot everything. Me. In one ear, out the other. That's about how I do it, too. Yeah, and then I can do the blue here, and then the yellow can be here, and let's pretend that... Yeah, this is a very Pokemon-y kind of design. It's a little bit ridiculous, but it works. This time I am going to have the red a little more isolated in the eyes, because it kind of brings attention back to him. To his face a little bit more. I'm kind of thinking of how well this would work. I am also kind of just moving fast, so if I had a little more time, I probably would have done some things differently, but so be it. Yes? No, we'll just leave it. Okay. So that's Luxray. I'm probably gonna... Oh, should I shade? You know what? Just for the sake of time, I'm not gonna shade Luxray really quick. Let's move on to Gengar. But before we do that, I do have to pull up our little advertising thingy. So if you've never seen any of our social medias, you can join us on our Discord and our Instagram and our Facebook to interact with other art nerds and to see updates for what will be happening to the YouTube channel and just other general things that have to deal with Wing Canvas. I don't have the graphic, I just realized, but we also have a Patreon with a very limited deal on all of our classes. If you ever wanted to sign up for one of our classes, then you can check the link in the description to our website, and our Patreon also has a deal for all of our classes, which is also in the link, which is also a link in the description, which you can check out there. But yeah, let's get back to illustrating. No, that's a man. Alright, let's find Gengar. Yep, all our social media and Patreon links are in the description. Gengar. So Gengar is a very, very simple design. Like, I mean extremely simple. Oh, oops. That's not the type of file that I'd want then. Okay. So Gengar is literally just a purple circle. Like, ooh, for fun for this one, actually. Maybe I'll just make him a ghost for this one, just to make it fun. So I don't have to draw legs either. Your drawing is very nice. I wanted to be like you in the future. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. These are very, very quick. It's not really representative of how I actually draw, but thank you. I appreciate it. So Gengar's funky because he has like this, like, are these ears? I'm assuming they're ears. So that means that I gotta, like, I'll just incorporate it into the hair that I'm kind of feeling with. Oh, now he looks like, that one, not a gym leader, he was a Grimsley. Is that what his name was? From Black and White. But it's what makes the most sense. All these Widow's Peak kind of hairstyles. It's an interesting Pokemon. Gengar's classic. He's from Gen 1, if I remember correctly. Suits my genre of horror. Honestly, he's not my favorite ghost-type Pokemon. I do have to go with Mimikyu as my favorite because I'm unoriginal. I'm just kidding. I do like Mimikyu, though. Mimikyu's one of my favorite because it's you can really, really mess around with that one. Because he's round, I'm gonna go with a rounder body type again. Seems like Kira is Stan from JoJo. Bro, I don't watch JoJo. I don't know anything about JoJo. But I believe you. Yeah, so another kind of larger body type. And so I can avoid drawing bigger feet. Well, because he does have feet here, right? Because it's Haunter that doesn't have feet. Gengar actually does have feet, so I might just actually... You know what I'll do? I will draw feet, but he'll still be a ghost, so it'll be like... It's floating a little bit. He's only got a little tail, though. You see what they mean? Alright. I believe you both, then. And you gotta have that kind of Cheshire cat grin, because that's literally what Gengar is mainly about. How am I gonna do this nose? Should I just kind of have something that's a little more pointed? There! He's like the penguin from Batman. But I kind of vibe with it, so... So this one I'm going for a little bit more flabby rather than toned. So I am going to go for slightly less toned arms, more of the flab. No no's allowed here. Already drawn one in. This is a little bit off. Yeah, maybe more like that, I think. And the arm would actually be a little bit closer, so a little bit over here more, so yeah, that's a little bit better. Like the chubby look. Yeah, I'm kind of vibing with something a little bit rounder. Okay, yeah, so Gengar is a really simple design. He doesn't take too much. It's like I gotta work with what I got, right? Gengar's kind of mischievous in the anime as well. Loving the different body shapes. Thank you. I'm having fun working with him. It's like I gotta work with what the design has, right? And what do I got? I got a smile on a purple orb. So I kind of gotta work with what I got. So Gengar is just as simple as... Gengar's Gijinka design is about as simple as his... This is Pokemon design. Right, it wouldn't make too much sense if Gengar was like this ultra thin anime boy, right? Because that doesn't match his design at all. So you gotta kind of take it into account. Is he gonna be wearing a purple bodysuit? I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking about what I want to put him on. Because he's like a ghost, right? I'm kind of thinking, like, what a ghost wear. So I'm trying to think, like, what would make the most sense in terms of his design? Right, like his original Pokemon design. The only reason I'm giving him a Widow's Peak, by the way, this is what it's called, the Widow's Peak, is because he has so many, like, points in his original design, so it kind of makes sense to... This kind of looks like Sonic, though, now that I'm peeking at it. You know what? Just because he has no ears in this one, I'm gonna give him ears here, because that kind of makes a little more sense, just for this one, though. The others are just gonna have animal ears. It's just so the design looks a little bit different. What's the day and time you're streaming? So from here on out, this will be the last one that is at 12 p.m. EST. It will now be on 4... It'll now be at 4 p.m. EST to 6 p.m. EST. Grown-up, matured Astro Boy. Man, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. A fur coat. Actually, a fur coat might work. Like, with the fuzzy hood. I kind of have that with Luxray, though. My brain was like, just put him in a tank top. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. The fur coat would be kind of funny. Actually, that would be good for the... Yes, okay, I'm going to do a coat, then. Again, the kind of Pokemon, like, all fur is kind of just spiked like this. So he looks a little bit like a gangster, too. He looks like a Team Yell member, now that I think about it. Thank you for the suggestion, Lennox. Yeah, and then you can kind of have this, like... Yeah, so this will be the last stream that starts at 12 p.m. EST. CNR streams will be starting at 4, because this is the last February stream we have. So next week, they'll be starting at 4 instead of 12. Mind meld. I suppose it's because, like, Gengar is also very, like, he kind of looks fuzzy because of the spikes on the back of him. Does that mean that I leave the rest of his shirt open, kind of like Luxray? I don't want to have two open shirt ones, though. But it seems to make the most sense. Like, maybe he was this sleazy rich person in, like a past life or something. Maybe he was, like, kind of like Wario. I kind of like that. Yeah, and then just erase a little bit. Yeah, alright, I'll leave the shirt open, just because it kind of fits a little bit more in this case. Give him a suit under the coat. Yeah, I could, but that makes him look a little bit fancy, you know? A little bit too fancy. Right? Because if he's a ghost, then he died somehow, right? I'm kind of thinking that he slipped in the shower or something. Maybe that's what happened, right? Maybe something like that. A Wario mustache. I don't know if I want to give him a mustache. That doesn't really seem to fit with the original design. Correction at 0. It's how I gotta move. It's how I gotta move. I gotta work fast. Oh, and that means I can give him slippers. If this is like his nightgown. Thank you. It's like this, these larger body types are ones that I don't get to work with very often because I do tend to draw a lot more kids. Like, that's just kind of like what I end up drawing a lot more. Just because my comic is made up of mostly kids, so I'm like, it tends to, I tend to draw more of like a thinner child body, right? So these are like good exercises for me to like draw something else. It doesn't like me going this fast. Like, it's like, you shouldn't be moving so fast. I'm like, maybe your program should hurry up. I'm kidding. This is just me being annoying. The face is a really clever idea. Thank you. Imagine Jigglypuff painting the mustache. She would, though. Part of me thinks that I've seen a Gengar like this before. It's been a while since I've seen any other people do Pokemon GIJINKAS, though. Pokemon GIJINKAS was very much a my era thing. Well, he does have his face on his body, but, like, this is supposed to be kind of like humans. Like, I can't really just have a face on the body. Alright, Gengar. I kind of unintentionally made him a little goofy, but I think that kind of fits for him. I forgot seams here. Oopsies. Okay. So then I should be able to finish Zoroark, and then I think that's all I can do. Come on. There we go. I kind of want to give him an inhuman color scheme this time. A little more inhuman skin. Make him more of a goblin. Should I? No, because he is human. That wouldn't match the rest of everyone else. But I also don't want to make him super light, so I should... Oops. Trying to see what I vibe with this time around. No, let's stick with that. That's cool. That works. Oh, no, I should get rid of this. What's the best brush to blend? That's up to you. Like, sometimes people show really well on here. Thank you. That's up to you, honestly. Whatever brushes you prefer to blend with, that's like a lot of personal preference. Like, for me, I like using the G pen. Some people download their own pens and don't use the G pen at all. See, I want to do the red eye thing, but it doesn't look good when I do it. I'll bring the red in somewhere else. Because, like, if I do this, it doesn't look that great. It looks kind of like whack. Ah, actually, that didn't look that bad. Let's just make it a little bit brighter. Yeah, it's a little, not quite so accurate to the original. I didn't color pick or anything. But yes, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Whoops. Reference the canvas. Goodness gracious, what did I do wrong? There we go. Scary. Yeah, it's nice and easy to color in Gengar because he's mostly purple. It's not really that much deviance to pick colors from. He does kind of look like a Disney villain though, doesn't he? Oops. Just so long as I don't stare too long, it's okay. Hisoka. I hate Hisoka with every fiber of my being. The red eyes look cool, thank you. If you make the skin a grayish violet and the eyes red. See, I could, but that wouldn't... I was planning on that, but it wouldn't match the other two designs where I kept more human skin tones. So that's the only reason I'm not doing that. Whoops. I want to keep it consistent with the rest of the designs that I've done. Right, that's a big thing, is that usually you want some kind of consistency when it comes to a lineup of designs, right? Because if I had, like, these two characters that already use human tones, and then suddenly one character doesn't have human tones, that doesn't make much sense. So I've got to kind of keep that consistency a little bit. Okay. There's Gengar. It's kind of a goofy looking guy. And that means that what I've got left is Zoroark. Let me move over all these guys. Hey, can I not move more than one at a time? That's so annoying. Oh well. Just a little inconvenient. That's okay. That means all that I got left is Zoroark. Now, Zoroark has a very thin body. Zoroark. Sorry, I can never pronounce this name right. And he's got a ponytail. That's fantastic. Oh, that's not the right file type. Come on, there's got to be a good image here somewhere. That works. But that's not the correct color scheme. Bulbapedia, please. Can I save it from here? Ooh, yes I can. Alright, and let's change what's in the bottom here. Zoroark. Zoroark is from Gen 5. That's the game that I started with. I remember when there was a whole event to get Zoroark. With that too, that's like 24 minutes left. So I'll get Zoroark done and then I should be good. There's a lot of darker Pokemon that were requested. I'm impressed. I thought that somebody was going to request Charizard. Okay. Oh, wrong brush. There we go. Zoroark's a really fun design. I've always really liked Zoroark. Hi. Hi, Elsa. Welcome in. But yeah, I've always really liked Zoroark. I always think that like his design is a lot of fun. Yeah, because of all the designs I've been given, I'm only thinking of delinquents to draw. Like, more delinquent-y characters. He's got a very thin face. So I gotta incorporate that. I just joined. That's alright. We got about 23-ish minutes left, but we're probably gonna go over time so I can finish Zoroark. I think your favorite Pokemon are Incineroar, Marshadow, and Marowak. Wow, 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 wow. Hello, Violet. My favorite Pokemon will always be Noivern. It used to be Glaceon for a really long time, and then it was Pikachu for a little bit. But currently my favorite is Noivern. Because I'm a really big fan of the big dragon bat. Got 9 out of 10 your science test. Let's go. Oh, and a Alolan Marowak. Yeah, good choice. Alolan Marowak looks great. I love that design so much. How many Gijinkas am I going to do? This is the last one. I've done 3 so far, so I tried to do 4, so this is my 4th one. So I've done Pikachu, Luxray, and Gengar. Everyone kind of looks like a fighter, but it's a lot of fun. Pikachu is definitely the most polished one out of all of them, but I guess because I spent a little bit too much time on him. But yeah, because we're almost at 2 hours, so this is going to be the last one. What even is a Gijinka? A Gijinka is a human design of a non-human character. So when Animal Crossing came out, there were a lot of Animal Crossing Gijinkas as well. Yeah, so Gijinka is a human design of a non-human character. So Pokemon Gijinkas are kind of like an older... Pokemon Gijinkas are what it started with. And then, like, other characters started to go onto that Gijinka trend. Cool, yeah. I feel like I remember we did a Gijinka lesson, Elsa. I don't remember if I did one with you, but I think I did one for Wing Canvas in general. Pokemon Fighter Team, Gijinka Pokemon Tekken Edition. Well, I mean, they did have a Pokemon Tournament. They weren't humans there, though. It was just the Pokemon. Yeah, so I'm kind of vibing with hair like this. It kind of looks like the one girl from the Owl House. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't watch the Owl House, but I know what the characters look like. I'm gonna change that a little bit because it kind of annoys me a little. I really love doing hair. Like, hair is something that I'm like, I love drawing. Bad, you didn't know that. Yeah, it's kind of an older thing. An old art thing. There was one Nuzlocke that I remember being drawn completely with Gijinkas. I don't remember what it was called. It was a fire red one, though, if I remember correctly. It's a fire red Nuzlocke. I don't remember what it was called, though. I think the main character was named Makoto. I don't exactly remember. It's from a long, long time ago. I doubt if any of you would know it. Did I watch today's Pokemon Direct? I already talked about it. Yes, I did. It's 25 years of Pokemon, and also there's a Sinnoh remake that's happening. Honestly, I was never a huge fan of Sinnoh, so like I'm in the minority when I say that. I'm not like a huge fan of Sinnoh. But congrats to all of you who are waiting for a Gen 4 remake. There's gonna be a lot of good Pokemon games coming out. Or a lot of good games from Nintendo coming out. I'm just excited for Splatoon 3. I stay here to the end of stream, then shower, then draw. Alright. I think after this I have a meeting, so we'll see. But yeah, because Zoroark's got like Zoroark is it's a thinner, a little more lean. Your friend got CSV free, but it's so hard to use. I think I'm going to go back to using Medibank. It's better for me. Clip Studio is a lot more advanced. It's not very user-friendly, especially if you're more of a beginner. It's very similar to Photoshop, so it's very easy for me to use. But yeah, if you're kind of like more of a beginner, it's definitely tricky. This is too big. Make that smaller. That means I'm also going to change this. I don't want to make him muscular, I want to make him just lean. Yahoo! Hello, Pardeep! Splatoon's your favorite character ever. So excited. I am also very, very excited. The area design looks so good. I'm like literally so excited to play that game. I skipped on Splatoon 2 because it was so similar to the first Splatoon, but like I love the first Splatoon so much. I was obsessed with that when it first came out. How do you put the picture in the bottom right corner? This is the reference window. If you go to window and you click on it, there should be a thing that says reference. You can click on that and you should be able to just upload photos. You have like 995 hours Splatoon 2, 800 on Splatoon. I don't know what my hour count is on the regular Splatoon. I remember I played it straight for like 2 weeks and longer. I know that I have, but I know I have about that amount in Animal Crossing. So I understand completely. I'm kind of vibing with the... I kind of want to give him a jacket. Just to kind of go with Pardeep's earlier idea, I'm going to do a cropped jacket because I think it's funny. I think it was Pardeep that suggested that, the crop. I'm kind of vibing with the crop though. Just to kind of match this silhouette, which is very like large up top and then thin at the bottom. Bye! Bye, Fatal. Thank you for joining. Yes, sir! Crop top, that's how it goes! I love drawing crop tops, honestly. It's so fun. And I'm gonna do leggings because that makes sense. Just to show off the thinness. Snatched waist. You know what I mean? That means this arm should probably be going down like this. Because there's no pockets. I'm like just fixing anatomy right now because I'm just changing the pose completely. He's got those like red nails too. Yo, what is that hand? We'll just pretend that it looks okay. Yeah, this time they do have claws. Zoroark, I think, is going to be one of my favorite designs. This is already getting to be really fun to draw. Let's add in these shapes back in, just for the legging design. I gotta figure out what I'm doing for these shoes. Let's do runners. I don't know what vibe I'm going for with Zoroark. I mean, like, for Gen 5 was based off of New York. If you didn't know that, it was based off of America, but specifically New York. So I guess I'm going for, like, more modern, like a street kind of thing. My brain initially went for Thief, and I was like, that doesn't make much sense. So I'm kind of going with Univa's vibe, I suppose. LOL, and then I can go with, like, Adidas to match the... There we go, to match the 3 claw marks. The 3 claws. Those can be red. Yes, sir. Alright. Yeah, and Zoroark doesn't have a tail. He's just got that long hair. You have a level 95 Zoroark. I remember when I played Black and White obsessively, I had like a level 100 Zoroark. But I didn't really want to evolve him just because I really liked Zorua. Like, I really, really like Zorua. So I most of the time just kept it. I gave him like an Everstone. And I just like raised him like crazy. To be fair though, I did have an action replay. If you don't know what that is, an action replay is like a... Basically what you could do is like you could upload like cheats onto it, plug it into your DS, and then like cheat items into your game. So I had like 999 rare candies and like a crazy amount of like master balls and stuff like that. So when I was like, what, 11, I just hacked into my game like crazy. Which was such a huge risk, to be honest, because like the action replay had been like said to like really mess up your game. Yeah, it was kind of a bad decision, but 11-year-old me didn't care. I just wanted my 999 candies and a Keldeo. A little thing is fun, yeah. It honestly takes the fun out of it if you, like, cheating straight from the beginning. But I had finished that game, like, twice, and I was like, well, now I just want to complete. You can break the game files, yeah. That was with a risk. Oh, happened with a friend, so you had to cheat to make it work again. Dang. Yeah, no, it didn't actually break my games. I was lucky, but I know that it broke a lot of other people's games. So 11-year-old me was a lucky duck. The fun thing with Zoroark is that he has a lot of, like designs around his face. If you look at the reference in the bottom here, there's a lot of design around his face. I'm going to end up just drawing that in with color rather than working directly with the lines. I'm just trying to incorporate all those shapes that I see around his design more into... Yeah, the end of his hair kind of looks like a paintbrush. It's kind of fun. I don't know how many of you had black and white. One thing that I really miss was the battle train. That was one that I really miss. I liked fighting on the battle train, even though I was never good at it. G-pen to sketch and pen for the line art. Yep. It's pens for each one. Like, for past streams, I've used the G-pen for the lines as well. Just for this stream, I kind of want cleaner for some reason. I'm just trying to, like, I'm using the pen, the things that are closest to what I have in Photoshop. So, yeah, because for those of you who don't know, Medibank is not my primary digital art program. It is Photoshop. Imagine Zoroark painting a portrait with his hair. I mean, what's that one Pokemon? Smeargle paints with his tail. So... Do I specifically have a Twitter account or something I can check out? I have a Twitter and an Instagram, but they post different things. So my Twitter is mainly just sketches and stuff. My Instagram is my webcomics. That's TELIVISION. Television is me on social media. So if you ever wanted to find me, I'm there. But yeah, those lines are crispy, damn. Yeah, I'm taking my time with Zoroark for some reason. I guess I'm just having more fun with him. But yeah, if you ever wanted to find me on social media, that's my handle. Television, 1L, 2 I's. If you ever wanted to find me. I like my crispy lines. I'm one of those weird people that really like line art. Come on. There we go. It's like, I personally don't mind sharing my social medias, but I know that some of my coworkers don't really like sharing theirs, so it's all good with me. The best part of Black and White was forcing you to use new Pokemon. Hello, Rex. And yes, I agree. I love Black and White. Black and White was like, I I wish that a new Pokemon game would have a story like Black and White. That story like enraptured me. And every other Pokemon game I played after was like, but there's no story. The story isn't as heavy. And it always made me sad, but I'm like, I love heavy, heavy story. Black and White had a lot of fun, kind of darkish elements, and that's why I really liked it too. Like, it had this weird kind of like cult atmosphere. That's why I really loved Black and White. It was my first Pokemon game, so I guess I'm kind of biased. But I remember when it first came out, people hated it, and they were like, "Oh, it's such a far cry from like other Pokemon games." It's Jessie. Hello, it's me. Hello, Duru. I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, we're almost done here. I'm just finishing up Zoroark. But yeah, Black and White was so fun. Black and White 2 built on top of it. Yes, definitely. I loved both of them. Like, I preferred Black and White, just the regular one, but, like, it was still very good. Like, I loved just the whole extreme story element of it. Like, for me, with video games, I'm very picky with what I play. I'm a very story person. For me, like, if you have a game and I get attached to the characters of the story, I'm most likely gonna love it. Like, some of my favorites, I really loved Undertale when it first came out. I loved Night in the Woods. Recently, I really loved Omori when I played it. What else? What Remains of Edith Finch is another one that I really liked. But yeah, I'm a really big, like, story person. If you can tell me a story with your game, I'm hooked instantly. The only game that's an exception is Nintendo, because I'll play almost any Nintendo game. But everything else, I'm ultra picky with. Like, ultra picky. Undertale is really good, but now it feels kind of nostalgic. I agree. It's because it came out in 2014, if you'll believe it. Undertale's really, really good. Personally, I prefer its predecessors. The Mother series. Out of all of them, my favorite is Mother 3. Mother 3 is so dark, and it's beautifully written. It's very, very controversial, so there's no, American release, but it's really, really good. Story is the best. Agree, agree. Mother 3, by the way, if you've never played it, or if you don't know what it is, yes you do. If you play Super Smash Bros. And you know who Lucas is, that's where he's from. So he's from Mother 3. His whole story is very, very sad. It's a really dark, sad game. It's not, like, scary or anything. It's not really... it's not PG-13 or anything. It's a very... Oh, goodness. Sorry. That was my alarm. Favorite games other than Splatoon, games like Hollow Knight, Twilight Princess, and Hyper Light Drifter. Hyper Light Drifter is a favorite of one of my close friends. I've never played it, but I love the aesthetic. Hollow Knight's good, I'm still finishing that one, and Twilight Princess I've also never played, but I also love the aesthetic of that one. But yeah, Mother 3, it hasn't been localized, so it's not available in any English-speaking country, just because it's a little controversial, but it's still really, really good. It's only controversial because of the themes it kind of brings up, but it's not, like, non-kid friendly in terms of, like, how it looks and what happens in it. It's just if you kind of look into the story, it gets darker as you think about it. Same with Earthbound, but Earthbound was localized, but it's a T for teen game because, again, it's kind of controversial, just the way it was written. For back in the day, anyway. These were Mother 3 was released in 2006. Earthbound was released in 90 something. I don't remember what, though. Hyper Light Drifter is beautiful. I love the graphics. It's very, very pretty. Start up your 3DS XL now. Alright, have fun. I'm still finishing Hollow Knight. I got distracted by Omori. But I'm also really bad at games, so I'm like... I really love games, but I'm just so bad at them. Like, I'm not... I'm not really good at games. I'm just a big fan of them. Sycamore, back at live stream with my mom's Gmail account because your phone is charging. Alright, hello. Welcome back. We're almost done here. I'm kind of... I should probably speed it up a little bit, but I'm like, it's fun to draw this one. Okay. I guess you're gonna see me paint a little bit with his hair. Whoops. Control Shift. Hi. Oh, bye, Em. Thanks for joining. You 112% at Hollow Knight. Wow. That takes dedication. I don't think I have that kind of dedication, though. Oops. Yeah, that's how I'm kind of vibing. Alright. Yes, we'll miss you, Em. We love talking with you too, Em. We'll see you another day. We'll see you at the next stream, hopefully. It'll be, I believe it's Eyes with Alyssa is what our next one is. So hope to see you there. See ya! Are these Pokemon as humans? Yes, these are Pokemon GIJINKAS. I am just finishing up Zoroark and then the stream will be over. We've done Pikachu, Luxray, and Gengar so far. I had a lot of fun doing them. These have actually been really fun. I was so scared of the requests I would get. But these have been really fun. You won't make it because 2:30 a.m. That's alright. Visual vernacular of Ursula. I don't know what that is. It's good. Worth good money. Made more than payback. It is. You'll watch a saved one. Alright, bye. Let me see Alright. Canvas. Oh goodness. It's because that's open there. Ugh. Can I do this? Does that work? Yes, it does. Let's go, big brain. This is such a fun color scheme, actually. This is a lot of fun to work with. The black and red aesthetic is one of my favorites. I know it's my best friend's favorite. I know she loves black and red. Is it the same color? Oh, it's a bead. It's not even a hair tie. Oops. Oh well. It's fine. I'll live with it. With the hint of teal, what a good palette. Zoroark is such a good design. ASL class, ASL, use virtual vernacular to tell stories, and we're describing the Disney villain Ursula with motions. It's so strange. All these look amazing. Thank you, V. But wow, I didn't know that. I've never been in an ASL class before. Or I've never learned ASL, I suppose. Just found my Wii. We still have our Wii out, like my family. We leave our Wii out. Because usually we still play it at parties. I mean, we haven't used it in a really long time, but I think the last time we used it was New Year's, but it was just like our family playing around. And we all play We all played Wii bowling. My mom has the high score of like 2,000 points for 100 pin bowling, and nobody can beat it because she got what was it, 5 strikes in a row. 5 or 6 strikes in a row, and none of us have been able to beat that. It's like, alright, you take the high score, we're not touching that. Oh my god, I know that, like, we're like so close to the end of time, but I'm having so much fun. I'm just gonna shade this one too. The nails are necessary. I can see the chat in the corner of my eye moving, so I'm like, still got sitting on your Xbox. It's looking nice. Thank you. Yeah, I'm having way too much fun. I'm gonna shade this in, because I am having the time of my life. Oh, I should turn on Protect Alpha. I haven't had Protect Alpha on this whole time. Crazy. Let's turn on my opacity by pressure. As I'm just filling in all the extra colors. Oh, and it goes back to red, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. I got Wind Waker to finish on there. I played Wind Waker on the Wii U, the HD remake. I love the Wind Waker. The Wind Waker is one of my favorite games. I love Link, how he's portrayed in that one, just because he's like so sassy and kind of dumb and like. To be fair, all Links are kind of dumb, but like, except for Twilight Princess Link, who's a little serious, but all the Links are kind of dumb, but they're so charming. Since the whole pandemic thing, your Wacom has been your best friend. I agree. My Cintiq has taken me through some dark times. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna shade this in because I am having far too much fun. And again, for those of you who have never seen this method before, this is using a multiply layer to shade. So all I've done is I have created a new layer, changed the layer style to multiply, and I'm using a light color to add in these shadows. I usually tend to use a blue. I know a lot of people use reds though. Twilight Princess Link's the best. The lockdown got you to buy a Cintiq. Very nice. We've had this Cintiq for a really long time, so it wasn't really lockdown that made me buy it, but I have been using it a lot. Okay. Yeah, the light source is kind of coming from the left this time around. So all my shadows are going to be kind of on this side of the design. Is Medibang easy on PC or hard? It's very, very user-friendly as like a beginner's tool. It's like not hard to use at all, I don't think. That's me though. I found Medibang is quite simple compared to other drawing programs I've used. Alright, just write that name down. Oop. Alright, and with that, that is our last Pokemon, Gijinka, complete. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, everyone. This was a really, really fun time to draw all these guys. They all kind of look like bad boys, don't they? But yes, thank you so much for joining. Again, if you don't follow us on any social medias, feel free to check us out on those. On our Discord, you'll be able to chat with the rest of us, and on our Instagram and Facebook, you can get updates. Same with Discord, actually. Discord probably gets the updates first. And you'll get reminders for when our live streams are starting. And we also have a Patreon if you'd like to check it out. That is in the description. Thank you. Third one is thick. Thanks. But yes, if you want to check the link in the description, we have all of our links to our socials down there, plus our website where you can check out classes, where you can get classes from me and Alyssa, or from other people. If you'd like to check those out, you may. And we also have a Patreon where you can check out all of our discounted prices. We have a great deal on there right now for our classes where you can get them at a huge discount if you are the specific tier of Patreon member. And of course, it is limited, so once the spots are gone, they are gone. So if you'd like to check those out, feel free to check them. And with that, I will see you guys another time. It'll be in 2 weeks. Next week is the start of our march back to the basics. So that's when we'll be also switching our times for our live streams from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. EST. But yeah, thanks so much for joining. Alright, thank you. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye-bye!